Yeah, it's not a big deal.
We had the arrival of the executive governor of the Lagos State, Mr. Governor himself, Mr. Babajide Nusirat Sanwo-Olu.
Ladies and gentlemen. Now, global perspective. Why is Netflix in Nigeria? Why is Prime? Why are they in Nigeria? Why is HBO touchlighting? Why is, there are so many of them. It was because this is a big market. And then they can't function without proper technology. And I'll give you a typical example. Netflix released analysis of what their activities are in Africa. And I looked at it and I saw that the amount of investment they put in South Africa is like 3-4 times what they put in Nigeria. But guess what? The amount of content we supply to Netflix is like 3 times the number of what they get in South Africa. For me, why? When you try to negotiate and you talk to them, they will tell you, we don't have enough subscribers. We don't have enough subscribers. And they will tell you, look, the subscribers in South Africa is like 5 times the number of subscribers in Nigeria. Why? Because we don't have internet. Look, the minute that changes, everything will change. It's a game of number. They just want subscribers. And the minute our internet improves, the minute you can stream without necessarily using data, the minute it's all going to change and the negotiation will go up. And that is where I think, whatever it is we're doing here, these are areas we need to focus if we really want, the industry to get better as far as film content is concerned. And also, I was signed by Air France as Air France ambassador. And I did that for like 4 years before COVID. But I can't speak French. I can only say bonjour, bonsoir, and all of that. A typical French company would never sign someone who cannot speak French. Why did they sign me? It's because they saw something. It's because they wanted to use me, and me too, I used them. But it worked, because at the end of the day, the perception towards Air France KLM changed after we started our campaign.
The most important part of the statistics is about the age bracket. More than half of that population, in fact, about 70% of that population are within the ages of 16 and 35. And you can see that indeed, that is the future. And I'm happy that the demography that we'll also have here reflects a lot of people that are under 40, than beyond 40 like myself. And I want to thank all of you for coming out here today. So let's give yourselves a round of applause. And from that industry, the television and visual arts, I'm told, makes the largest of it in the creative zone. Whilst visual art and music are the largest industries in terms of employment. In the Nigerian context, the Nigerian creative industry is positioned as one of the country's largest employer of labor, and the potential of even doing more, which is almost 2.7 million by 2025. And additionally, to create business, it is set to be able to generate about 5 trillion that I mentioned. The study also finds that the creative industry employs about 4.2 million across all the 5 sectors. And the sectors are in media, in entertainment, in beauty and fashion, in visual arts, as well as tourism and hospitality. Furthermore, its position at the forefront of our digital era, our steadfast dedication to innovation has earned us a global acclaimed. If you never come Lagos, you never go anywhere. And if you never come into Yaba and all of the creative places that we are just starting. And so it is not just by chance that Lagos is seen, and it has earned that it is Africa's foremost fashion and creative hub. It's no doubt. Not just a fashion and Africa's foremost fashion and creative hub, is also the Africa's startup capital in the continent. So Lagos deserves all of the applause that it has right now. The music industry, indeed, you can begin to see. We're not just, the hub, we're the fashion, the creative hub, the music industry, and, we're doing about 2 billion now. With technology, we believe that indeed can go up by over 500%. And you've seen achievements in that industry. You've seen our artists receiving prestigious awards, including the Grammy Award and the purifications of international streaming services, which has certainly attested to the vibrancy that we have in this industry. The transformative impact of technology on Lagos developmental program is certainly profound. Over the past decade, technologies has propelled a remarkable 500% increase in productivity across the pivotal sectors, ranging from agriculture to manufacturing. Our Startup City initiative has also not only enhanced the efficiency of the public service, but have also significantly elevated the overall quality that we see from our various residents. And I think it was the commissioner that had mentioned it earlier, to say that some of the people that were supported in the last 2-3 years in the tech startups, not only have they gone up to become patent, but indeed they are becoming startup leaders in all of their choosing profession. We have seen, we have seen patent being coming out of medicine, we're seeing patent being coming out of agri startups, and we're seeing patent being coming out from also the payments systems. But in all of this, the journey is not without formidable challenges. And I'm sure Kunle Folawiyo had enumerated here this morning some of the challenges that we all see in that industry. And everybody has mentioned it. Issues around piracy present a significant and a substantial threat into the creative economy. Recent data highlights a significant portion of the creative content falling victims of piracy, which result in substantial economic losses annually for all of you, the creative minds. And I think Tubosu mentioned that we're doing everything to ensure that we can scale up, we can scale up the regulation, and our ability to be able to track and discourage wrong people that are stealing from you and are just generally just doing cut and paste. It is imperative that we tackle this issue collaboratively. It's when all of us work together, from the federal government that is here, represented by the Honorable Minister himself, to all of us at the state level, and to all of you practitioners, that when we work together, we will be able to implement measures that will safeguard your intellectual property and cultivate an environment where creativity is not only protected, but also flourishes. And so you can see privacy present a substantial, a significant threat into that market. And we cannot fold our hands, certainly not as a government, and not do anything about it. And so the Legacy Initiative for Creative Industry, we have looked at 4 different areas. We've looked at investment in infrastructure and technology. Currently, and we're still expecting additional support from federal government. Currently, where we've done about halfway of our 6,000 kilometer metro fiber duct connectivity, where we want to have fiber connectivity in almost every part, of the state. You can imagine what that would do, in terms of your content and in terms of your access, in the social media space, and just generally what that would do. Like I said, we've completed 50% of that. We also have the Lagos Film City, which we just, about 2 months ago, we did a groundbreaking ceremony. This is, at first start, it's a $100 million project that will be executed on a PPP model. The Lagos Film City, you can clap. The Lagos Film City is conceived as a comprehensive entertainment industry campus and film lot. It will take, credence from the likes of Universal Studios in Hollywood, and the facility will provide not only living and working spaces for filmmakers, for writers, for musicians, for marketing professionals, and all industry personnel, fostering the realization of the creative idea. It won't be far from what Kunle Afalana was showing us, but we'll probably just do it bigger, bolder, and better. We will collaborate. We'll ensure that we're not far from the reality. We'll create, an engagement with you where, your people in the industry they don't need to go to South Africa for sound check. They don't need to go to outside the country to go and check, the content and the output of. That's all what we want to bring in, back into our own space here and be able to do all of these things here. All of our musicians, they don't need to begin to go and, recheck their videos or something. Once we have, a campus like this, it becomes a place where all of you can see as a pride. It must also have a university content. Kunle and all of us are doing so many things, are training and retraining and training and retraining, but we must have a location where, all of you in this place can call home and you can see. So we envision that it will be an industry hub for also tourist destination. So the film city will feature fully equipped, state-of-the-art sounds, stages, workshop, films, and everything around the creative industry. Some of you were part of us at the groundbreaking ceremony. It's a 100-hectare piece of land, and we're committed. We're pushing to ensure that before the end of our administration, we'll begin to see a lot of verticals there, and it can become something that will be useful for us. We're also ensuring that we'll have a museum which will commemorate, I think Mr. Afalana also shown it. We must be able to depict the history behind Nollywood, how it all started, and we must be able to showcase that we didn't get here just in one day. So the city will have all of the trappings, where you can have commercial real estate engagement and all of it. The incorporation of all of this will ensure that it becomes a destination of choice. We also want to collaborate with the World Intellectual Property Rights. We cannot just be given lip service to issues around piracy and people that are stealing from this industry. So I'm told that we have to identify and work with the World Intellectual Property Organization under the leadership of Dr. Moody. The collaboration is aimed to establish a robust framework for enforcing copyright laws. Once we're getting to this stage, we need to be able to do it globally, how it's being done everywhere in the world. We believe that from enforcing these copyright laws, it will help to simplify the process for artists, for writers, for musicians, and other people in the creative minds to safeguard their work. And that's it, to be able to safeguard your work and be sure that indeed all of your sweat and all of your very creative minds will not go unnoticed. This initiative will not only ensure a fair compensation for creators, but also enhances and appeal for investment and collaboration.
Improve their governance their citizens' well-being with better healthcare and education. And most important, achieving a sustainable living. And for the economic value, investment in ICT has been proven to significantly boost the economy. Digitalization can revitalize traditional industry and increase while new digital industry drive economic growth.
Okay, let's go on.
Okay, it's okay. It's your phone. Media is our friend. Come now. Cairo-Egypt.